as I was saying, back here you see the starter. Behind the starter is a steel elbow that goes up into the tank. And connected to that, of course, is the fuel line, which runs back into the engine, to the fuel pump. Uh, what had happened is 22 years of fuel sediment had settled down into that pipe, and it was black and probably about as hard as roof tar, roof cement, really. And I had to rod that out with a piece of coat hanger, but I was able to get that out. One thing you want to be careful about when you're under a car and pulling a plug out of a fuel tank. I did siphon the gas out, but there was about a pint left, and it ran down onto my chest and into my armpits. Not a good day, made me sick, but I got that figured out. So the engine's fine, it's getting fuel from the tank, and so the next problem I had was why I couldn't turn the key and get it to start. So, the ignition system. Well, you can see my grandpa was in the middle of a project when he put it up. So you got spaghetti wires all over the place here. And I don't know what he had in mind. You can look down here. See all that? Oh boy. Yeah. Uh, that little, this is a starter cutout switch right here. And what I ended up doing, of course, was shooting a wire, metering this wire right here, this yellow wire on the starter. Of course, that's the trip for the solenoid. Metered this wire all the way up to the front here, and I found where it went into the fuse box. Where it went into the fuse box was to a relay, and is the seat belt control relay. And this car didn't have seat belts, but apparently it did originally, and I guess my grandpa took them out and probably shorted the seat belt wires together so that it would, it would satisfy that function of that relay. Well, what I did, if I can get a shot of it here, I have to go around on the other side, is I basically pulled the wire that goes into that relay. You're not going to be able to see it without light. Oh! I pulled the wire. You'll see it was a white with a red stripe wire. I pulled it out of the bottom of that fuse block where it goes into the relay and shoved it into a connector that connects directly to the key switch. So basically, I jumpered around that seatbelt control relay, and now it works fine. It starts, and I've basically jumpered out basically all of the safety relays. Which, is it really that big a deal to have a safety relay for a seatbelt and a clutch and whatever else? I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm not going to be, you know, I'm going to put seatbelts in it, but come on, safety relays and all that crap. But it does start and it does run. Let's go. What do we talk about next? Of course, I'm going to have to replace the carpet. It smells pretty musty. Of course, when we first got it here, me and my niece washed it, and it leaks a little bit. Water got down into the carpet, and it's, smells pretty bad now. So I knew I was going to have to replace the carpet anyway, so we'll pull that out. One of my favorite features of this thing is the headlights here and the little flap that comes up when you pull a handle. I thought maybe at some point I would put a little motor up front. When you pull the switch for the headlights, it'll engage that motor and do that automatically. But it doesn't have that right now. What you have is this little thing, this right here, where you pull this handle and it closes it. And you turn the headlights on and you push that down, and opens those doors up front. See little handy little bucket seats. I'm probably just going to have to start clipping wires that don't go to anything. Right now it's working. All the lights work, and the turn signals, the horn, everything seems to work fine. So wires that are dead-ended somewhere, I'm just going to start clipping out and probably put something under there to hold all that stuff out of the way so I don't kick anything with my feet. Next project. order some parts here. These are all brake drum parts. See some cylinders and some rebuild kits. Oh yeah, let me give you a little background on that. While I was troubleshooting the starting system, I thought maybe the starter was bad. Well, I was wrong. But I changed it anyway. Hell, it was 50 bucks. That's fairly cheap. That's pretty old. It's got some rust on it. I figured, why not? I'll throw it on the shelf and maybe I'll keep it around for some. Maybe I can trade it for something. As I said, drum brakes all around. It cost me about 100 bucks for all the brake parts. Nah, it wasn't that much. 80 bucks for all the brake drum parts. I figure I'll recondition all the drum brakes so I can get it roadable. I probably should right now. I want to convert the brakes to disc, which will cost me about $650 to $700. But it seems like a lot of money. I know it's not really a lot of money when it comes to car restoration, but I'll do it eventually. But there it is right now. You can see in shipping, you can see they have gull wing doors. One of them broke during shipping on the truck on the way down here. I would have hauled this thing myself, but my truck doesn't have the power to do it. So I contracted somebody to put it on a trailer and bring it down here. Well, you know, they have insurance and they tell me that they're going to cover the cost of a door if I can find one. That's kind of may be a problem. But I think that's going to be my project today, is reconditioning the brakes. And till next time, this is Alex, and hope this has been helpful. I don't know, or at least entertaining. Probably not. Your call.